Go that way. Go that way. We're filming Emma Michelle. Hey everybody, it's Paul. As you just saw, my young daughter decided to make a cameo. She was told not to, but that happens, right? We can all relate to that. So, we're done.
Yay.
These two people in front of you, see how tired they are? He's trying to stay awake.
Slap you, wake you up.
Yeah. She's got to go to a chiropractor now.
Maybe some wound specialists.
They're both suffering
Maybe
from
some emotional counseling.
Yes, some therapy.
Yeah.
How do you? Going in. All right, this was for me. I wanted to shoot something that was intense, had a lot of action, made a point. All right, and for y'all going in, what was your expectations? He said they're going, really?
Let you go first.
Okay, all right. Thanks, David. No, I don't know. My expectations.
I guess I'm sorry, but your expectation, what was going to be asked of you?
Oh yeah.
Through the whole process.
Oh, I was fully expecting basically what was asked of me. Like I was fully expecting because I was playing a role that was intense. I knew it was going to be intense. Didn't realize the intensity until you're in the middle of it. I guess so, but I came in expecting, well, honestly, I didn't have a ton of expectations,
This
I guess.
way.
Except for to work hard and leave it all on the table.
So did you expect what about you? Coming in?
I knew it was going to be a challenge, and I guess my greatest concern is could I pull this off? It's one reason I wanted to do it also, besides, work with you. But I knew it was going to be good because I just knew. I just had this feeling,
Yeah.
And part of me, at first, I told Christa that I said, I don't know if I should do this. I came close to backing out, but then I realized, I was like, I got to do this, film. And I've already said before, this has been the most challenging thing I've done in my career so far. And I don't know how many things I've done, but I've done a lot.
Hey, Paul.
You
We got Paul Guilford watching.
Hey, Paul.
Hey,
That man
Paul.
rocks.
Yeah.
Paul Guilford, or Paul Foster number 2, as we like to say.
I don't know how we got to that one. So, I wanted to shoot something that was intense and had action in it. The script kind of lent itself to something a little bit different, I guess, for a lot of people. Did you pick up on the amount of physical demands it was? It was going to put on you too. And, you can each answer that, or you can share the answer. But did you kind of as you got going and you saw, it's hot out in the house, over there in Gilmer, we had to shut off the air. Or Paul Guilford was like, "Hey, it sounds like a turbine going on in my ear," right? Did you kind of after your first day of intense kind of stuff, you're going, is this kind of plateau here? Is it going to go up? Is it going to get easier? What were your expectations at that point? Was it more or less? Was it anything shocked? I guess I'm trying to find. Is there anything kind of got you and you're like, wow, this is either harder or some aspect that was more difficult than others? Very long question.
Yeah, it was a long question.
You're like, what were you guys saying?
I think it was. It was a little bit harder than I expected, I guess. I knew it was going to take some difficult scenes and stuff, some intense moments. But when you're actually doing it, and screaming to the top of your lungs and trying to make it look real, but not overdo it either.
Jet engine.
It's just, and then you're soaking through your shirt 3 or 4 times,
So when you went from the house over there, it got pretty intense. And by the way, Paul Guilford just corrected me. It sounded like a jet engine in his ears.
Okay.
But when you're over at the house, and it's very physically demanding in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. Just the constant running, the continuity shifts. Now, have you haven't done any action in the past? Because you worked with me on Unwanted, but
Yeah.
have you done action before?
No, I've never done action before. Not that I can recall at the moment. I've done small action stuff, but fun, goofy stuff.
Okay.
Not
more
anything
lighthearted.
serious like this. Yeah.
How about you? You've done some action.
Yeah.
And so how did this experience? kind of like, I don't want to say compare, but I mean, how does, was this experience, and when you coming in and you've got experience doing this, I mean, what was the differences or the similarities?
Well, I didn't know if she had done it before, so I just assumed that you did. So I didn't know, and you did good. I mean, I wouldn't have known if you hadn't just said that. But
Paul said that you both nailed it, by the way.
Oh, thanks,
Thanks,
Paul.
Paul.
Now, I had done action in plays before. I will say that. But
Okay.
never on film.
I don't count.
That don't count. That's awesome.
But like I said, I still think this was even probably the most physical demanding film I've done. I just can't think straight right now, but
He's tired. That's
but
why.
still, I mean,
That's
I've
why-
done a lot of other
That's why we're
things.
doing a live stream now. He's going to say all these right things, and then you later be like, "Why did I say that?"
I mean, I've done a lot of other physical demanding stuff, but not in this same sense.
No, yeah.
Would you-
Especially with the character and what he's
Yeah. Do you think the complexities of your character, and we're kind of giving a little bit away here, but we're not. The complexities of your character and the dynamics of your character, then you add the physical aspects of it. Did that make this more difficult, or were you able to take this in the same stride as you've done other action sequences?
No, I mean, I kind of had to go about it a different way because I'm not trying to play a tough guy in this one. I'm not trying to play the guy that beats up everybody or whatever, or gets shot or whatever, This is about an average guy who, like that's one reason I wear the loose fitting shirt.
Yeah.
I try to portray that guy and that type of normal. So, I mean, I had a lot of questions going in on myself. I didn't really question my acting ability. It was, can you pull this type of character off and make it believable?
Mm-hmm. Without being fake.
Yeah, without being fake. And
Yeah.
and there was one scene that it kind of made my skin crawl. I mean, I didn't like looking at myself. I was like, man, is that me? People are gonna hate me. Whoever sees this film.
I don't think it's
I'm just saying, I don't want people to look at me that way, but it's not David Ford either.
No.
That's Mitchell Locklear, or whatever his name is.
Mitch, yeah.
Mitch.
Mitch.
So we got Amber Johns, who was going to do one of the photos for me. She was in my short film Bedtime, and she's watching now. So yeah.
Hello.
Hey Amber.
But before I was
Amber.
interrupted,
So rude. He just really embodied this character and kept going with it, apparently. No. I'd say for me today was probably the most challenging, and it definitely heightened from day one. Day one was intense, or for me, a lot of running, a lot of fear for me, but today was intense because it was a lot more, before it was a lot more relying on me to bring out the emotion. Yesterday was intense because it was a lot of us together, but today it was like we had to work very careful with each other. Like we had to be super trusting each other, to do some of the things that we had to do today. So
do you think that for younger filmmakers out there, and I've learned this lesson the hard way, you were there, and we were talking about it earlier tonight, and I'm sure you've run into this, when you have this kind of dynamic that you're asking two actors that don't have prior experience together, do you think it's beneficial for them to when you're going to get to the more intense scene, allow them to do some of the lighter stuff first, or do you feel like it's a situational thing? I'm just curious on
no, that's why I asked you. I was like, I'm hoping you didn't put that one scene.
Yeah, you kept
to
asking me when scene 12 was.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally.
Yes, I remember.
I mean, you're like, are we doing scene 12 today? It's like that was like his biggest fear was scene 12.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew I needed to get to that area.
And it wasn't a fear. It was just you were like, that's the one that I think you were anticipating the most.
Yeah.
That scene.
And so actually, when we got done with that part, I mean, the burden lifted.
Once you got so at what point now everybody has to develop. So just to shift. I mean, this is kind of interesting conversation interview. I hope people are enjoying it. If you like it, you can go check us out at In Plain Sight, the short film. And support us and share and help us spread the word so we can get into the festivals with this. But you don't have a lot of dialogue.
no, that was kind of difficult.
I mean, a lot of actresses or actors in general, if there's not like a fair amount of dialogue, they're like, man, I don't care if I'm in every scene. I don't care if I'm in every other scene.
But it was so important, and the reason why this was so important for me, and when reading the script, I immediately just was like, yes, I have to play this role. Because the whole point of it for me, I mean, in plain sight, the point of it is that things are happening right under your nose that you don't even pay attention to because you're so worried about your own life sometimes, or, oh, that's their life. But for me, this character, I've been really big on the voice for the voiceless. I mean, my character in a way didn't have a voice, but she has a voice. By her very presence in this entire film, she has a voice. And so I feel like that's why for me, like, I tried to embody that in playing this character. Okay, I don't have, I have 5 lines the whole movie, but
Well, do you feel like now there's this whole movement right now with the Me Too movement,
yeah,
and it gets played out, and then part of that, and I don't want to get political here, but it's a factor within Hollywood right now.
yeah.
Do you feel like your character was any less, because he has the majority of the dialogue.
Yeah.
And a lot of times as we talk, your guys are playing off each other, but it's more reactional or you're expressing your thoughts and your emotions through, whether it's an expression on your face, your eyes, or a reaction to what he's saying. Do you feel like that this is somehow demeaning to women?
I don't. I feel like it shows the power in women. My character is a powerful woman to be able to go through what she went through and still be able to come out in the end. And even though it might not be how we perceive
don't know
power,
how it's going to end, right?
That's what I'm saying. This might not be how we would perceive of women as power. She was powerful. She still had that, I don't know, that very essence of
I don't know. How many bruises you got there, David?
Oh, yeah.
I bruised
That's
them up.
another story.
So now, some people they'll go all out, right? And you guys really did go all out, especially as you got more comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
And as we kind of were alluding to, it's good to let actors that don't have prior working experience, professional or any kind of, you guys really didn't. You had casual professional experience, but you hadn't really worked together on a set before.
No.
So we discussed how important it was for y'all to kind of learn, get to know each other, get to develop that trust. And then there was trust not only between the two of you, but between the two of you and me, that I wouldn't put either of you in a situation that was going to be too dangerous. Even though you all kept on there, I turned my back and you're all like swinging at each other.
We still do.
Yeah. But,
She got the best. Well, I'm not want to give anything away.
So what's the worst bruise you got in the last 4 days? What's the most painful besides your headache?
Well, I guess it was today. Laying on that, I laid.
Oh,
so I put a crick in my neck, and that's not really a bruise.
Well, what's the worst bruise I gave you?
When she went to town on me with a pot. Because I asked Paul before, I was like, "Are we gonna put in some sound effects?" And he's like, "Yeah, we'll put it in post or whatever."
I don't need them now, man.
No, we don't need sound
She
effects.
took care of that Foley in camera.
Okay, I need to correct this story. They're not telling it right. Okay, I was not going to hit him with the pot. I was going to act like I was hitting him with the pot and let the camera and sound effects do it all. But he said, "You can hit me with the pot." And I said, "Okay." So I hit him with the pot lightly. He goes, "No, you can hit me harder than that. It's not going to hurt me here." So I did.
Paul Guilford, I remember you hit him. You caught his belt with the pot.
Yeah, I caught his
And he
belt.
said it was like a church bell went off in his ear.
Well, I knew I was in trouble when I was just kind of standing there, kind of watching her, trying to get this, pot thing down. And then Paul went over there and said, "You hate this guy. He's told you, he's repped you, he's done all this thing.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
We just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like 2 fans on here, but watching. But what was I gonna say? And Paul was like,
So I was building up her
but
rage.
she wasn't just saying, okay, I think I can do that. She was like, like I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, Paul, what are you doing? Because I knew it was coming.
And it did. I finally got the pot thing
The
right.
wrath came.
The hardest thing I've had to do this, well, there's a couple of them. Today was one of them. But as far as like taking direction, and both of them happen when I'm hungry and tired, and which happens often on set, was a pot. I had to swing a pot, and I just couldn't. But then again, I did tell Paul when he cast me in this role, I cannot fight. If somebody breaks into my home, don't get any
You sure you want to tell
I
everybody
don't know,
that?
I got a gun though.
I
don't
told her I
worry.
could teach her some moves.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn some. What's
I don't know. I mean, she looked pretty good swinging that pot, man.
I don't. I learned. I pick up quickly. So no, I
Paul
didn't. that day.
Guilford said, "Oh my God, wait till you hear it." Talking about the
The
belt,
ring.
the belt. Jeff Martin responded, "Great dynamic dialogue is always key. Good job, guys." I think so. What was the over the last 4 days? It's been crazy because we've had some long days because we, just like with anything, we had some glitches on day one. We caught up on day two because we had to be out of the house by the end of the second day, so we wrapped up around 8:30. That we had a 12-hour day, and then we get into the studio yesterday. And before we got into the studio, it got the nickname of the sweatbox.
Oh my gosh.
So what was day one in the studio like? Because the AC of the studio was out, and it was 100 degrees yesterday outside.
Was that 104?
And it was like cooler inside as far as the heat, but the humidity, and we had the fog machine going, and the humidity was off the chart. What was that like? And how did that either help outside of did it help or did it hurt a performance? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it added to it. I mean, anybody wants to experience the first level of hell. It's the most
I said that's why I gotta go to heaven. Because if that's what hell's like, no.
So it reinforced your faith in God. Awesome. Mission accomplished.
No. For me, it was, I did pretty well, and I actually kind of liked in certain scenes because it did build the intensity, but then there were times, especially there was this time today where I was so hot that I just wanted to just throw up. That's how hot I was.
Wow.
And I was trying to do this scene. It was a simple scene. It wasn't like I had to do a whole lot. Like you said, I don't have any lines. And so all I had to do was react to seeing something, and I could not get it. Like I was just like over the top with it, and it just wasn't working. And Paul came in, and he's explaining it to me, and he's explaining it to me very well, just like the pot. And it's just right over my head, and it's just I could not focus because the heat was so intense, and we'd been in there for a while. I'd already gone through a really strenuous scene right before that as well, and I should have stopped and said I need a break, and but we were all just like ready to go, like yeah, let's get this done, and so it was intense.
So I want to ask you both. All right, so we're done. It's like probably I got at least one pickup. I got some other stuff I got to shoot in relation to it. It's going to happen. There's no festivals that I'm lined up for right now. I'm not going to worry about festivals until it is finished and we have a final product. But I want to know I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'll let you guys each answer them individually.
Okay.
All right. The first question, the scene you're the most happy with, and it's okay. I'll let y'all share whatever you want to share with. Is your personal performance? What was your favorite scene on your personal performance that really made you feel like, wow, I'm really surprised that I did that.
Well, the scene I was most worried about was one where, I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm just saying where the character has to hit a pinnacle, and I guess in the performance where, and that's where I questioned myself because I practiced a lot, but I did it so many different ways and I didn't know which way. Like one time I would do it this way and I'm like, I really like it. Then something else would creep in. I'm like, well, I like that. But then when you get on camera, you don't know which way it's going to come out.
Right.
And the first time we did it, I wasn't real happy with my performance. I was like, man, you got to get better than this. But as you said, when you get real hot and things start happening in the sweatbox, you don't think straight. It's not like we were in AC.
You can put a sign over it called the Sweatbox. Sweatbox Studios.
Yeah. Once you have, like, if we were in the AC, we would have both thought more clearly.
Right.
But so I questioned a lot of myself and was forgetful sometimes. But then I don't know if it was the third or fourth one, but it was one of them. I felt like I nailed it. It's one where I did something and I was like, well, that's cool what you just did. So that gave me confidence for the rest of that scene for some reason. And I was just wondering if I could go back and hit that mark perfectly, like for continuity.
Yeah.
Because, it was a long scene.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I know what we're talking about.
It's not like
we're talking about scene 12.
Yes. Scene 12, yeah.
It's not like, hey,
Yeah.
you got to hit these scenes. You know, the scene's 20 seconds. Go hit that scene. You know, any actor can do that, but it's like 5 minutes or more.
Yeah, it's like almost a 5-minute scene. I didn't even realize. I mean, I went back and I looked at the script, and it's 3.5 pages of dialogue. And right now, I think I just had 5 people fall asleep when I said that. 3.5 pages of dialogue. A lot of people are like, oh my God. But it's so intense, right?
Yeah, and we weren't even camping, but it's intense. You know?
Yeah, it was intense.
What about you? All right, favorite scene.
Favorite
The scene that you.
Corny. Sorry.
No, it's good. What was the
your turn.
what was the scene that you felt like you really surprised yourself that you know you did better? You know when the outcome was more than you expected. You thought you could do.
Yeah, I mean, I would say scene 12 was up there for me as well, just because, I mean, I don't know, I really, but I think because he already said scene 12, I'm going to choose a different scene, and I think scene 14, that's my...
14, yeah.
Yeah, scene 14 for
14's,
me,
that's a
was
tough one.
intense, and I had to improvise a lot. It's like I was given the general direction,
Yeah.
and then it's just me in a room, and I have to take that direction, and then for like 2 minutes I'm in there, you know, there's have a camera on me, and I have to.
And we're just letting it kind of play out.
And yeah, they're just letting it play out. I mean, it's not gonna be 2 minutes in the film, but you know, they're just letting it play out so that we would see what we did. And it's like one thing wasn't working, and then like for this what I needed, they told me, okay, this is what you're gonna do, and that's not working. But I just kept on in the character, and I felt like that, thinking on my feet in that way. I felt like that really challenged me a lot, and I hope portrays really well on camera, and because I felt very happy about that.
And then now, I don't know what's going on. Oh, they let the dogs in.
Oh, the dog.
They let the dogs in.
Hi,
There's Rocky.
I'm sorry.
There's Rocky.
Rocky, he's my buddy.
He's just
my boyfriend.
Rocky's made new friends.
Oh. Okay, Rockstar. Go. Go. No.
So, all right. So back. What is the scene you least liked? What is I mean, where you just feel like it's just something you weren't happy with.
Like.
It could be my fault.
It's Paul's fault.
Produced by Secondhand Productions and relations with Sweatbox Studios. I love the idea. Jeff Martin.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Sparky Escondido thing. That's going to be on the film.
Yeah. So is there a scene where you felt like, yes, either... Let me rephrase it. Which scene did I frustrate you the most in? I like that
I don't
idea.
think you frustrated me at all. I mean, I've worked with a lot of directors, and you're somewhere up there at the top. You're really good. No, I really
He's
enjoy
like, here's the top. And
Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Paul's sitting down here.
I don't think when you ask that question, it's nothing about you.
Did I ever frustrate you in a scene? And then after we talked it through, you're like, or anything like that?
No, because you always made sense. Like if I had a question, I mean, you knew the script better than me.
I frustrated the hell out of Ryan Miller. If he was on the scene, he'd tell you. He'd tell you I frustrated the hell out of him.
No, you're fine. I really appreciate the input that Paul gave.
Yeah.
Because that's like, sometimes I had a different vision, but I liked your vision better when you explained it. Like, it made sense to me.
All right, so I'm trying to.
wait, I have one. Hold on.
All right. We do.
Before we move on
before you
from
go,
this.
before you go.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything that I did that I said, or in collaborating with you? Because one of the things we talked about, and I kept telling you, is like you had a lot of ideas on how you wanted to approach the character, and I told you, I said we're going to play with that. I said I like the collaboration between the director and the actor. Is there any, like, you had something where, the bathroom door scene was the one that comes to my mind, where it's the way we approached it.
Yeah.
That would be something that it kind of shed some light on the character that helped you kind of take the character to that next level. Did I ever give you any kind of?
Well, now you say it, I get it now. Well, I kind of wanted a little bit more. I mean, originally at the door before you explained what was going on, I kind of wanted my here's Johnny moment.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. You wanted an act.
I kind of wanted.
I got
wanted
you.
to bust my head through the door or something, but no.
The Shining.
It just wasn't. But I got what after you explained it though, it made more sense.
Yeah, it was
Do
intense.
it.
And then we watched it.
Yeah.
It was off the chart when we watched it.
And then
That
he
was
said-
crazy.
Yeah, and then he said, sometimes silence is the best thing. I was like, okay, let's try, and it really worked.
Yeah, it really did.
So how
I
about?
really like it when she's silent.
Yeah, I do too.
yeah, this guy. I know where he sleeps. My name is on a star on his trailer, so just saying. And my name was on my door on a star too. He had to mark it off because he didn't have one. So I had 2 stars.
So what was was it the pot?
The pot, like pause it.
Oh, I had to kick everybody out of the room. I said she's losing it.
Yeah, I was. I lost it on the pot. I mean, it's at the end
On
of
the
the day,
pot, phrasing. Lost it on the pot. So it was hot. I mean, it was
hot.
like probably it was getting up in the low 80s in the house because we had
that
the
day
AC on.
because I was running so much and I was going so much that I just didn't feel. I was like, I'll just eat later, and I had makeup on too. I had some intense makeup on that I couldn't really eat very easily in, and they wouldn't have minded if I ate and it came off, but I just was like, no, I'll do that later. And then it just got to a point to where we were going. I was running, that I just didn't get a chance to do it. And not that that's the excuse, but anyways, so Paul's like trying to show me how to swing a pot, and I'm just sitting here like, I am the most uncoordinated person there.
I mean,
is.
she looked like she's playing cricket.
I did. I mean,
the way they throw the ball.
and I'm just getting madder and madder as we go, and more frustrated. And I have someone over here telling me something, someone over here telling me how to do it. Finally, I just was like, I don't know what to do. I just got mad, and Paul's trying to explain to me, and I was like, and I just like looked at it. I was like, I understand what you're saying. I just don't know how to execute it. And so he made everyone leave. He hugged me. He was like, calm down. That's what a good director does. And then I
turned around and said, it's all in the hips.
Yeah.
I said, it's just like throwing a
It's funny
baseball.
because I've never seen somebody swing a pot before and their hips are facing forward.
Yeah, and the arms going this way.
Their whole body look like the Plastic Man.
I literally just show her. I kicked everywhere and says, I just don't want you to see. I'm going to show you. I took her by the, and I said, you got to turn these things.
Yeah.
And he turned my head. Yeah, there wasn't this other kid that was on the set.
Jacob Mitchell. Yeah.
Mitchell. Yeah, like everybody left the room, even Paul, because I was like kind of just out.
Yeah,
I was just-
initially.
they all had to leave me alone for a minute to kind of just calm down because they knew. I think everybody just knew we were all tired. It was the last, one of the last shots of the day, and this kid. Jacob just sat there. I say kid, he's like 18. He sat there and he didn't leave. He was the only one that didn't leave. And I just looked at him and I said, what am I doing wrong? Because he did make a comment that just clicked a little bit about fighting. And he's like, have you ever punched anyone? I was like, no. He's like, have you ever seen anyone punch anyone? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, you got to follow through. And he started kind of explaining it that way. So I got the upper part of my body, right? And then Paul came in and was like, okay, everybody leave. And then we got the bottom part.
And then he got beat up.
And then he got beat up really bad.
I was like, I ain't got to worry about this pot swinging thing.
Paul-
And then she got it.
Paul Guilford made an interesting comment here. He says, I think the one that shows what this film is all about was the road when we were out on the street.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
That's a good point.
And there's actually two. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely see his point. It's kind of hard to you got you walking down the street.
No, the house is probably better.
The house one is probably a little tricky because there's no camera within sight, no boom mic within sight, and
Can you tell me you're doing a drone or no?
yeah, I mean, and the drone, they wouldn't have seen the drone.
No.
And she's running out across the yard, looking all bruised and beaten, and a car rolls
Screaming.
up. Car rolls up, slows down, and then keeps on going.
Yeah.
They don't stop to render aid, or they're not concerned about the well-being of this person. So I don't know if maybe they saw the drone. Maybe they saw a Christian flying the drone off to the side, and they kind of put one with it. I don't know, but if they didn't, man, that's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, sometimes this stuff's like right in front of you, and you're just too busy with life to even notice.
You think somebody's shooting a movie, and they're really not. So,
Yeah.
I mean, luckily
That's
in
a
this
good
case
point,
we
Paul.
were.
That's a good point. So, all right. Favorite person on set? There's a lot to choose from.
This is not a real question, is it?
Yes, no, it's a real question. Because you got Ty Jackson.
Oh gosh, how can
Right.
you choose?
You got Ty
I
Jackson.
can't.
You got Jennifer Pritchett.
I know, I
who
mean-
gave you both rashes on your face.
Yeah, you see this? That's from Jennifer Pritchett.
No, I put everybody on the same plane. I didn't
I
have my
loved Jennifer.
favorites.
I loved Jennifer.
Jennifer was awesome.
Jennifer was
I told-
awesome.
Okay, I
told
loved
her
her too, but if
But
it's
I also
his
love
favorite,
Ty. You know.
Yeah, I did too. I love the work of Ty.
Ty is the man when it comes to cinematography in my book, and that's why I'm so glad this is our
Yeah.
third project working together. We think a lot alike when it comes to this, and we've learned to collaborate very well
Yeah.
on the shots and
Yeah.
how to get the shots, and he has some great perspectives on it. And we can get under each other's skin. It's very rare.
Yeah, I didn't ever see
mean,
that happen. I mean,
we'll-
I saw one point maybe, but
I think we probably had one moment where I got under his skin or he got under. But for the most part,
No.
it's my job. As I kind of concluded, all I had to do is put all these talented people around me, and they can sit down and drink a Mai Tai or something, which I didn't do. Drink a sugar-free Mai Tai. Gross. No, but, sit down and honestly just make sure that. We're getting all the shots, we're getting all the scenes, and we're getting plenty of options to choose from in post. I mean,
yeah.
if that block shot, we blocked out a shot, David and I sat down and he watched me block up a shot. Skylar Mitchell wanted me to say that the boom mic operator was the best.
He was pretty awesome. He was pretty awesome. I say that. Skylar Mitchell. Mitchell,
we
was
had-
that his last name?
Yeah, Skylar
So
Mitchell.
Jacob.
No relation.
Oh, I didn't
So,
know that.
I mean, we had a great group of people. I mean,
We
when you
did.
guys finally get to see this thing, I think it's going to blow your mind how much was accomplished with such a, some just strategic people. We had
Yeah.
Vicki Jones Stanfield as my PA and script
Love
supervisor, location scout. We had great locations.
Yes.
We had David Ford, Christa Watson, both of them here with us tonight. We had Jermaine Jackson, who doesn't have a lot of experience, but you got a chance to work with David in one-on-one, and David really did a great job. You really did a great job of working with him and helping him kind of get through those scenes and kind of learn. He was learning on the fly there. It was awesome to watch.
Don't think about it live. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Jermaine. He has a look, and
He has a look.
I think he has some natural talent, and so I think he can go far if he really puts his mind. But you just got to really commit. I wish I would have started that young and really committed more. Now I'm getting old and gray, catching up with Paul.
That's funny.
I'm young. What are you talking
I would
about?
say though that the one person that brought this together, that it's gonna sound cliche because he's sitting right here, but Paul, I would say Paul Foster, because
She's such a brown noser.
I thought you were going to say me. No, I'm just kidding. I
This
agree.
guy.
It is you, Paul.
No, yeah,
Go ahead.
because Paul and I have been friends since Unwanted, and I was really excited to work on another project with him, and so to be able to do that, I would have to say, and Paul brings an even amount of fun and seriousness as well, and that's why people like Ty Jackson and David Ford and Skylar Mitchell and Paul Guilford. Sorry, Paul Guilford. I've been calling you Paul.
Great
for
audio
too.
engineer, by the way.
Yes.
Great audio engineer.
That's why people want to be around Paul.
And
Because
Jennifer Pritchett.
and Jennifer, yeah.
It's a blessing that she was on the set. It was
Oh,
meant
my
to be. She was meant to be part of this
Spent
project.
the most time with her probably.
I had so much fun on
And
the set.
Suzanne was
Suzanne Rice.
awesome. Oh, my
She
gosh.
is so cool.
So talented.
Paul Guilford. Yes, he is.
But go ahead.
No. You.
I was going to say, a lot of people will probably ask me, hey, how did you prepare for this role?
Right.
How did you, did you go by anything? Did you watch other psycho movies?
This is a romantic comedy. What are you talking
this is about, I know, so this is spoiler alerts, but
Don't tell Paul. You're supposed to
She's
release
so
that.
edit. This is a romantic comedy trailer. Like we were watching those remember today. Meet Mitch.
but what I did, I was like, well, think about it. And I was like, Paul Foster. I got to act like I'm Paul Foster.
Oh my god!
Guy.
Oh, you did.
He's not telling the
Oh
truth.
my gosh!
Okay, I've been waiting to say that joke, and it wasn't really that funny. It worked out better.
I think it's your second time trying that one.
I think she hadn't heard it. I don't
She
think.
hadn't heard it. Okay.
It's new.
So Paul Guilford said, "We are all kids compared to Captain Obvious." Paul, for everybody that's listening, that Paul had he had his truck set up, and then he had it was kind of like Big Brother listening in. He was like you talking to the big voice. Yeah. We could hear him
everywhere.
We could hear him, and he could hear us, but we never saw him.
Right.
And so we started, it's like if a train started going by, he'd do like a radio broadcast,
I took him into the bathroom with me, I think, a couple of times when I was the law of night.
He's sitting there going, you start to walk out. He's like, David, wash your hands.
I made sure I ran some water at one point just to make sure he thought that.
Wait a second, I was in the seat with this guy. He didn't wash his hands.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I'm done, never again.
No, but all right. So kind of coming to a conclusion here. I mean, this was a great conversation. I really appreciate y'all hanging in there because I know you're tired and you guys are wiped out and you're worn out, and I really appreciate y'all working with me on this film. I'm gonna give you my special moment, all right? And my special moment is scene 12.
Yeah.
Scene 12 for me is with what our cinematographer Ty Jackson did with what you two pulled together in a set that was realistically was built by many people. Some they don't want to be named. They want to go nameless. A benefactor that helped make this set possible. He'd rather fly under the radar and not have attention drawn to him. And I can't tell him how much I appreciate it.
Yes, we
But
thank you.
I just know. The only thing he told me before he said the basement. He really wanted me to focus everything in the basement, and that basement set. And I told him, I said, well, the basement's where it happens, and I think that scene right there, scene 12. And you came to me and said, I told him, I said, that's good. And he said, I don't want good, I want great, Paul. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And I said, you don't understand. I said, good is really good. I mean, you've given me everything I could possibly ask for in this scene. And when I went back with Ty and we sat down and watched it, I was speechless. And I can tell you, I mean, I'm not speaking from a lot of experience here, just in the work I've done and the stuff I've watched that I've worked on. That is the best scene I've ever seen yet to date. And I think that scene on itself could stand on its own legs in some kind of like a micro festival. Just that scene could stand on its own too. And I mean, it blew my freaking mind. And I mean, I know what the rest of the movie looks like, and that scene is gonna really. You guys were awesome. It's just I can't tell you how grateful I am that I had you two on the set, and then I had Paul Guilford, I had Ty Jackson, and Christian Allen did incredible work, and then there's all the people that supported us in the back, from Kathleen Allen, my wife Julie Foster, who handled all of our food service, craft service. Oh, we almost got disconnected.
Oh. And
But-
Noah as well was there, yeah.
Yeah, and we had Noah Dean, Jacob Mitchell volunteered, Clint, what was Jacob's friend? I forgot. He helped us out with the shot. But the cool part is Colt. Yeah, so we had a bunch of people join in, and so any parting words you want to share with everybody that is going to wait for a little while and they have to wait to watch this thing now that I've been trying to bring attention to for a short period of time. This isn't a personal quest on my part. It's me telling a story that I think is a good story, but it also has a message, and I hope it works for everybody. But do you think people are going to hate me when they watch this thing?
No.
You think they're going to hate him?
Yeah. That's the intent. No. I think, hey, go follow it on Facebook. It's In Plain Sight, the short film.
I believe it's, In Plain Sight.
It's called In Plain Sight, the short film. follow it so that you can get updates. I'm sure Paul's going to be posting stuff on there because it is such a strong message right now, and especially in our society with things that are going on. I mean, there's statistics, there's tons of stuff out there about abductions and things of that sort. And so go follow us so that you can continue to learn about the platform that we've created with this film, as well as follow this film. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, and that's ultimately what got me to do this film is the message. It's not about playing this character or that character. It's a strong message, because just in the news not long ago, you heard about that guy who kept those 10 or kids or whatever in his basement or locked in rooms, and if we need to expose that, you know, and if I have to play a character that nobody likes to do that, or a character that everybody loves, whatever, to do that, I guess it's too late now to spoil everything, but still, that's what got me to do the film. And I really appreciate working with Paul. A newfound respect, and we're a lot closer, I think, now. I feel bonded.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I feel bonded with you, and now that we've wrestled and hit each other and slapped each other and all that.
Beat the hell out of each other, really.
And,
I mean,
You know,
and
no, yeah.
so-
you got matching bruises. Aw, that's so cute.
But,
Well-
yeah, I was glad to be part of the project.
All right, guys. Well, that's our last update. Today is our final day of actual principal photography. The film's going to go into post-production. We're probably going to do another. We're going to have at least one more day of filming. That's some pickup stuff that we couldn't get done this week. It's going to be postponed. I'm looking forward. I hope you guys keep on following. I'll keep on sharing little bits and pieces. I've got hundreds of behind-the-scenes photos that are not out there. There's hundreds of them. You know, and so we'll kind of sprinkle some of those out there. Hopefully we get some interviews with some news agencies, newspapers. It's all about building the momentum to go to festival. And but I'm telling you, if this thing sucks, it's my fault. I will have screwed up the edit. Something severe, because these two right here, Jermaine Jackson, Suzanne Ratz, Ronnie Patrick, you know, they can't mess this up. Only I can. So with that, everybody, I'm going to let them go to bed, get some rest. Y'all be good, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.